Everyone can hear me, right? Yes. Awesome. So I'll start off by welcoming you guys here at A-player meeting. I want to kind of get across to you. This is a big deal. This is first of all, within our division, you're going to hear a lot of stuff today. This is the place to be. And being an A player within the organization, I've been at this meeting 2 years in a row now. It's something we started a little bit ago. And you can kind of see this as like the key staff of the division. You know, it gives you the opportunity to not level the playing field, but to really earn your spot no matter what level you're at. And there's branches that aren't here. There's assistant managers that aren't here. So if you're a rep and you're here, make sure you take advantage of that. Make sure that you take advantage of the extra learning, the extra growth, being part of this. But also, don't take it for granted. Being an A player, there's also high expectations. And you're going to need to hold that up throughout the year. And, you know, it really is a big deal. So make sure you cherish that, cherish the extra learning, cherish the opportunity. Don't take advantage of it. So that means leaders that are A players, they're 100% engaged. So make sure you have notebook and pen at all times, ready to go. But I'm incredibly excited for this meeting because this is, I'm sure Jem's going to tell you what it's all about and what it represents. But this is the crew that we plan to take to 2019. And this is what we're building to. And if you're here, that's because we think that you have the potential to be part of that. And you're the people that we want here. You know, so make sure you live up to that expectation. And yeah, I'm really excited to get this meeting started. With that, I want to go up and bring up our leader, Mr. Jeff Gamboa.
Eddie, we got muted?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. My clicker? I'm sure it's here. Dear St. Anthony, please come around. Something's wrong. It must be bad. If someone sees my clicker, just holler at me. Just let me know. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, David Delgado. Only one Dave. I'm going to share a whole bunch of pictures during the general session, but man, it's been busy. Abercrombie Fitch for me. I mean, SC2 is busy. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, so SC2 is busy, and then for me, from SC2 straight probably until through tomorrow night is my SC2. As a division manager, we go from SC2 conference. Okay, who performed and deserved an interview? Then you go on 2 weeks of interviewing, and we just stick in a VIP night at the W in between, right? That's just for fun, and then back at it. Then went straight from Atlanta, SC2 to Puerto Rico. Went from Puerto Rico to Fort Lauderdale for 3 days. Then we had the W event for the VIP night. Then I flew to Tallahassee on Sunday, got a chance to see Tracer and the Tally team. Then I went from Tallahassee to Tampa. Then from Tampa, got a chance to, we had a dinner night out to celebrate the pilot doing $1 million for the summer. Then Heidi and I got a quick 24-hour, I got a chance to throw the phone into the box, shut the box, and for 24 hours, we actually went back to the W. It was that fun, that much fun. And also because we spent so much money, they gave me a cheap room. So we spent a lot of money at the W. Okay, no, a lot of money, so like a lot. Okay. Then we came back, and then that next Sunday, Heidi and I went to the airport together. She went back to Philadelphia airport, and I went straight to Atlanta. And then we had a district manager planning session for just the fall growth, talk about TLA. Then we had the region kickoff with Mr. Scott Dennis on Monday and Tuesday, and then back yesterday. And of course, you know, I've been flying back and forth, and here we are for COC. We have TLA acceptances tonight. We have TLA luncheon tomorrow. We have TLA fun night. We're doing competitive battle bowling tomorrow. What's the question you should ask? You'll find out what battle bowling is. And did you guys bring the pads?
Yes, and the gloves.
And the gloves, okay. So we'll battle bowl tomorrow. And then tomorrow night I take the districts and branches for a quick dinner. And then Saturday is my favorite. It's our annual Carefree Timelessness Day, where I take all the districts and branches who sacrificed all summer, and we post up at my favorite taco shack, a taco place called Taco Beach Shack on Hollywood, and we just spend the whole day at the beach and do nothing. And no watches, no phones, and we just spend time with the greatest division in vector marketing for the day. Then there are conference calls to set up all of our districts for the future, and then Wednesday I'm out on vacation for a good 7 or 8 days, and then I'll come back ready to rock and roll. So it's really great to be here. I want to welcome everyone to our 8-player initiative meeting. And so you may be familiar with the
author Darren Hardy. Has anyone heard of Darren Hardy by chance? Two of you, four of you. Okay, you guys don't count. Darren Hardy is the CEO and also, I guess, head publisher of Success Magazine. He's also very wealthy, very successful businessman, multiple businesses, and he's also the president, or now former president, of the Direct Selling Association, who is also a member of COC. And I got a chance to meet Darren before I fell in love with Darren's book. But I read this book 3 years ago called Entrepreneur Roller Coaster. I highly recommend it for those of you that are aspiring to run your own business. And if you have any aspirations for even a district option, not that you're going to sign up today, some of you did, but if you have any aspirations of being an entrepreneur, this is a must-read book in your career, or career, if you will. And I got a chance to meet Darren at the DSA National Conference. Our president, Al DiLeonardo, who you guys met in SC2, he called me up and said, "Hey Jeff, Mr. Stitt, who's the president of CUTCO, and I are here on South Beach. We'd like to invite you to dinner, and we're going to go to the Direct Selling Association party." I said, meeting. And I went, I don't know, Al. I'll definitely try and meet up. He says, "Oh, they rented out all of Live nightclub. I'll see you there, Al. I'll show you around." He goes, "I thought that would get you there." So it was all walked in, and Darren Hardy rented out pretty much the entire Fountainblue Hotel for the most part. It was packed with a DSA. Private DJ went in, and it was, imagine our SC2, but inside the Live nightclub in downtown South Beach. Right? And you'll appreciate this. So I was walking around, and Al said, "I want to introduce you to people, and this is Darren Hardy. I met the founder of Mary Kay. I met the founder of Amway. The third down from the founder of Amway. It's like the son or daughter. It's like third generation. I met, if you've heard of the encyclopedia, Northwest Encyclopedia, door to door, a lot of direct selling. And every time I met someone, okay, cool, pipes, lots of pipes. Every time I met someone, here's what I found. They all kept saying, "Oh, you're with Albert. Oh, you guys are the knife company, but you do it better than anyone else working with students." He said, "No one works with students better than CUTCO." And I heard that from every single person. And by the way, these are companies that respectfully could write a check and buy CUTCO in a check. Right? We do how much annually? 250 million? Yeah. These companies, these men and women that I met could say, "Oh, I like that company. Here's 300 million. I want it." Like that much wealth in the Fountainblue that night. It was awesome. And it was so great to see all these humble leaders, some of them not humble, by the way. Kind of gross, actually. Then you meet these great people. Mary Kay was awesome. She's this Southern charm. "Hey, child, how are you?" I said, "When you touch me, I might make $1 million just from you touching me." I mean, she's these wonderful people, but the common consensus was, "Wow, you guys work with students better than any company, and we still haven't figured out how to do the student thing like you guys do." So fast forward a couple years later, I read Entrepreneur Roller Coaster, and Darren Hardy's the author. And I said, "Why does Darren Hardy sound so familiar?" And I was reading through, and I remember, wow, I met this guy. And one of the things he talks about is an A player. And I want to give you my thoughts on what an A player is. But before I do, we have a couple of people who've been to this meeting before. When you think of an A player, right, for the Davids of the world, for the Antoines of the world, for the Andrews and the Lukes of the world, for anyone that's been here last year, how would you define what an A player is? And actually, let's start back. If you're invited for the first time, what's your impression of what an A player is? Lori, if you could make a call, see what's up with that. Maybe you go to the front, call Allie, see what's going on with that. I don't know if it's the air conditioning or the apocalypse, one of the two. It might be the end of the world. I'm glad I'm with you guys. Yeah, just find out, maybe.
I think someone's vacuuming. I think there's a room right above us, and someone's vacuuming out there.
Yeah, okay. So, first years, what would you imagine an A player to be? Amanda. That's really cool. This is for you to project. Go ahead.
Someone who is really well-rounded and someone who inspires others and
Okay, so someone who's inspiring. Okay, and how about an A player in general? Go ahead.
Someone who has the right habits.
Okay, the right habits, right? What do we say? Our lives change when our habits change. Other first years or first timers. First years, well, that sounds great.
Leaders.
Leaders. Just in and of itself. Right, Eric.
That is stay consistent.
Okay, consistency. That's a big one. When I say, hey, for your soccer team, for your fraternity or sorority, for your school, for your church, for your synagogue, we're looking for A players. What would that mean? Mark? Best of the best. What else?
Commitment.
Highly committed. Voices. Yeah, people make sacrifices. How about people who've been here before? Our A players. What would you define our A players to be?
Someone that finishes strong.
Someone that finishes strong all the way to the end. There's some great stories of finishing strong in this room right now.
Someone who knows how to manage emotions.
Yeah, so self-management, self-awareness. Lauren,
They always strive to be better.
they always strive to be better. Good. Luke.
Coachability over criticism.
Coachability, I like it. Let me tell you what this means in the Cutco sense. Ready? And I want you to write this down. So A players are, and in no particular order, not one better than the other. In some cases, the ones that Jeff connects with the most. Whether you're from my office, actually, being from my office is a curse because I know more than I should. So I actually get the full package. It's actually harder to be a player in my office, by the way. Someone I connect with, whether it's a personal level, whether I think they're a good person, whether I like the way that you carry yourself. These interviews have been awesome because you might notice my interviews are only about 20 to 25 minutes, but it doesn't take me that long to really get a connection and find out that a lot of it has to do with your parenting. Some cases lack thereof. Despite lack of parenting, you guys are able to accelerate your lives and find solutions for lack of leadership. Second thing I would say for A players, they're performers. There are people that every time, when it's time to step up, when it's the fourth quarter, there's 20 seconds left, you're down by 1 point, and I know I want to give the ball to that A player. And it's going to that basketball, right? The A player is respectful. A player is a consummate professional. A players don't call me bro. Okay? You can call each other bro, that's fine. But A players don't call me bro. They don't call people of not of authority, but either elders, like out of respect. A lot of our Latin American descent, that's just how you're wired, right? You don't call abuela, hey, what's up, man? You get slapped in the face, right? You would. But respectful, ready, classy. And in my mind, the biggest thing I want to say, A players are the future leaders for 2018, and then the future superstars for 2019. I'll say that again. A players here in this room have the potential to be the leaders running offices, branches, districts, system managers, district operation managers in 2018, but they're the superstars. They're the Andrew Evans and the Luke Masecos of 2019. They're the Galila Kolar running a branch office and net profiting probably $5,000 to $10,000, and then going to Jamaica and then going to Germany or running our first office. Like that kind of success in 2019. So think of this as the key staff. Who's heard that already? The key staff of the division. This is the key staff of the division. I also want you to write down this invitation is not guaranteed every time. So this isn't the only A player gathering. An A player gathering is going to happen every couple of months. Sometimes they're right before the prep. Sometimes they're randomly. It depends on my schedule. I'll just have a gathering randomly. When I visit Gainesville for one of the preps, I'm sure I'll have an A player gathering there. When I come to Tallahassee, I'm sure we'll have an A player gathering there. Not anywhere you think. We'll go to Pots, yes. And then Fats. Okay. I doubt it. It might be in Fort Lauderdale. What I want to let you know is that if you're consistently being invited to the A player gathering, it means your stock is immensely high in Florida United. It means you've done the right things. It doesn't mean you're number one selling every week. That's not part of it. That's not what it means. It just means from attitude, how you carry yourself, are you growing, and of course performance is important because everyone here performed. There are a lot of hurt feelings this week. There are a lot of hurt feelings this week. There are 4 of you that didn't get invited on the first round on Monday and did a couple of things, conversations later, and got invited yesterday. There are 4 or 5 of you. And I think it's great because this is a group that people want to fight for. This is a group that people want to get in, and it's not assumed. And so I want to say congratulations on being here. It means we're also going to give you a lot of attention. The A player group is my favorite group to spend time with Because if I took a picture right now, and then at the end of next summer, take another picture, odds are most of you are doing something management related and leading an office and leading a team. So nice job. But you got to keep it up. You got to keep it up. For those of you that are looking to continue to grow and feed your minds with growth and business acumen, one of the things that I recommend at some point is being prescribed to the Harvard Business Review. It's a great fuel, it's a great tool for the mind, especially for our district managers here in the room, PSMs, our branch managers, I really recommend it. But there's this great article about A players, and it's a term that's not just from that one book, it's used across business. And this is what they said, check this out. A players, right? They set and stretch. They set stretch goals and adapt, right? I think it's an adapt, actually. So what does that mean? They set goals that are tough to hit, that will push you. They'll set goals that will push you, and then they'll adapt to how the goal's going. How many of you set a really big goal for SC2 and you didn't hit it? How many of you set a really big goal for SC2, didn't hit it, but still got to the reception? Okay. How many of you set a big goal, didn't hit it at all? In fact, didn't even hit 10K, but you left it all in the field. I mean, you left everything. You went for it. Right? We have all those situations. High standards for themselves. I really love watching the difference between people who aren't in TLA and in TLA, and then people who are in TLA and people who I think are A players. You know, what they say, what they do, how they carry themselves, the choices they make, more specifically, when no one's watching from the leadership team. My favorite moment, and here's the thing, and Luke says this all the time, Jeff knows. Jeff always knows. And it's one of those really weird kind of secret powers that you have as a division manager. Has anyone seen the movie Bruce Almighty?
Yeah.
Okay, remember when God said, you can hear everything I hear now, and all these voices came in, and he's like, well, I don't even want to hear it. That's how I feel as a division manager, when I hear about the things you kids do, young men and women do. And the thing is, it all comes back to me, and it's really impressive, and sometimes not impressive, right? Mostly not in this room, but impressive in this room to see what happens. The choices that people are making, the way that people teach, the way that people support each other, the way that people handle themselves, the choices they make when you're at a conference and everyone else is doing X, Y, Z that you know is not appropriate for the conference, but you choose ABC because you want to separate yourself. Those are some great things that we see, great attributes. They work collaboratively. They work together as a team. And what's great about today, when we induct TLA for the 2017-18 draft, there's no more, although we have the Fort Lauderdale Inferno, and we're very proud of that. Although we have the mighty Metro Miami team, and we're very proud of that Silver Cup performance. When you leave the room tomorrow, when you leave for TLA, assuming you get accepted, you leave as the United TLA class for 2018. And I can tell you right now, there's no team in the region that's being looked at more than this class. And there's no team more important to that class than the people in this room. They volunteer to represent the group. They speak on behalf. You guys are the ones that would do what Luke and Andrew would do when they were assistants in branches, right? There's a difference of what Luke always uses this analogy. It's like when Dad says something, that's me, or cool uncle, I guess. Dad feels old, but so be it. So when Dad or cool uncle says, okay, versus big brother says, there's a different dynamic, and I think that's what I feel like when I think of an A player. They embrace change rather than resisting it. It's an important one. Take initiative, walk the talk. You guys know what that means. CPO talks here. They use good judgment. By the way, I want to preface all this by saying not perfect judgment, and no one here is going to hold you to a standard of perfection, because not to be religious, but there's a Bible verse that says, "He who hath not sinned, cast the first stone." What does that mean? If you're perfect, then go ahead, say something. But if you're not perfect, hey, and guess what? No one's perfect. And all the things that you guys are doing that might not be under the banner of good judgment, I know them all because I did them all. I did it all. I've been there, done that. This is certainly not my first rodeo. As my friend Rich Plaskin says, I was born at night, but not last night. Right? I was born at night, but not last night. I'm at this really cool age where I'm not quite as old as your parents, but I'm not young enough to be cool with you guys. So I'm at that sweet spot. Right? So I get a little bit of both. And so I've been there and I've done that. But what's great is I love to see judgment get better as time passes. That's an A player. Daily personal resilience, and then they give honest feedback.
So what I wanted to do real quick, I want to do a quick brainstorm, and then Karina and Delila with two sides. I'd like to do a quick brainstorm, and Karina, if we could bring that one close to the screen. The markers on the table. I'd like to get everyone's definitions. Let's talk about every possible definition of an A player. There's no right or wrong. We'll write all of them up. Let's go back. So Karina for one. And we'll start all the way. We'll start with Eddie. You can say pass. You're not in trouble. It doesn't mark down your score. But you know, this has been a very competitive week, so there's no competition in this room right now. No TLA acceptances on the line with what you say here. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure this week. I understand that. There are tears this week. Trust me, and there will be tears tonight. And there are already tears and massively emotional emails and voicemails sent to me from Puerto Rico last night. So we announced TLA in Puerto Rico last night. We had multiple breakdowns from people who worked really hard and thought they deserved it and didn't get it. Because when you work hard for something, you believe in it. Doesn't it hurt when you miss it? Yeah. What does that mean if it hurts? And you care. It's really important. So, and they'll have their chance to earn a spot again. So we'll go with Eddie. You can say pass. We're going to go all the way through, back around, and we'll end with Maggie over here.
And it's just Korean writing.
Both. We'll go back and forth. You go one, you go one. So we'll have two sides.
Accountable.
Accountable.
Maybe I feel like go above and beyond.
Above and beyond.
Coachable.
Coachable. I like that. Tenacity. Who has the right tenacity? Tennessee. Giovanni.
Performance.
Performance and performers. I agree.
Enthusiasm.
Okay, enthusiasm, right? A players bring a lot of energy and enthusiasm. We'll talk about that.
Trustworthy.
Cool. I love that. Trust.
Adaptable.
Adaptable. And you can repeat some of the ones you saw, which is fine. Adaptable or can adapt.
Consistency.
Yes. Consistency. Consistent.
Honest.
Honest. Trustworthy and honest. Some of them kind of go to the same, but I agree with that. Good.
Ability to multitask.
Yeah, so multitask. We'll try to do it in words here. Good. Multitask. Oh, no, we'll go back here. Jeremy.
Walk the talk.
Hey, walk the talk. Walk the walk. Walk the walk. They walk the walk and fish and chips. Leaders. They act as leaders. Yeah. Work ethic. Right, Eddie? Resilient. When challenges hit, they know how to adapt and despite how hard things are.
Executing at a high level.
Senor Aleman. High level execution. Good.
Open to criticism.
There you go. I think that falls under coachable too. Good. Open to criticism. Orlando.
Grit.
Grit. Define grit for those that don't know grit. Define grit.
Grit, just having essentially resilience behind.
Yeah, it's a tough, cool word for just you have grit despite.
I was thinking something similar. Courage.
Courageous. Courage.
Meticulous.
Meticulous. Ready? Attention to detail. What does that lead to? Organized. I'll add that. John.
Fearless.
Fearless. Okay, I would put that under courage. Okay, goal setting, big goals, both. Right? I would say sets goals
Goal-oriented.
and then big thinker. Yeah, big point or perform. I would say performer. Are you talking about with Cutco? Yeah, performer. I don't know if we have that already. Motivated, self-motivated. Say it again. State management. What do you mean? I agree. Meaning what? Right. Okay. So self-state management. That's like a Micah Bromwich special there. Manage your state. Reliable. No, we'll go back here. Dedicated. Positive. Inspiring. Great attitude.
Integrity.
Integrity. Trustworthy. Okay. So what do you notice starts? This is, by the way, a technical tool called a roll down. Right, and we'll use this in TLA. A roll down is when you go until the ideas start to mix. You heard integrity. You heard trustworthy. You heard honest. It's kind of the same thing. And you're starting to overlap. How about anything that's not up on one of the boards? We'll go random. Doesn't have to go in order. So Mark. Drive. Okay. I put that under self-motivated. And motivational, not just motivated. So motivates others. Anything we haven't put?
Treat people right.
Yeah, it's a big one. Treats people right. I need to say that. Treats people right. Treats people well. You guys want to know a cool story? So we're at the W Hotel. Right? That was fun. And the suite we had was not the suite we had initially. Who was at VIP night at W? That was not our initial suite. Although we had a really nice suite. We had a really nice suite, but not that high up and not as big. And so I'm sitting there, and this young lady's at the front desk, the attendant, front desk attendant at W. And I notice she's pregnant. And there's these two really nasty people yelling at her. And just as pretentious as it might ever be in a movie, that's how they were speaking to this lady. And then I was third in line, the second group, probably just as nasty, and how they were speaking at her and down to her. And it blew my mind. And I went up and I said, she goes, hi, and she took a deep breath. Hi, next guest, welcome to the W. I said, hey, welcome to the nice customer. She goes, thank you. I said, I'm easy, I'm friendly, and I see you're pregnant. She goes, oh, thank you. So we have this conversation. Next thing you know, we get a $2,500, $3,000 discount on the big room. Let me talk to my manager. I said, let me talk to your manager about you. Really? Yeah. So I go out of my way. I ask the manager to come down. I say, I want you to know that Megan is doing such an outstanding job despite really rude people. Oh, wonderful. Is the GM in town? No, here's the email. So I emailed the GM in front of her just to say, I want you to know about your front desk attendant. This is like going to the president of Cutco and saying, this one rep is really good. That's the equivalent. So $2,700 cheaper later, we have the baller suite. Okay? Then I see Luke, and Luke was working on something, and he said, yeah, there's this lady, and they were being really nasty to her, and I said, was she pregnant? I said, yeah. And Luke did the same exact thing, but in a different way, and got his room half off. That's right? So to me, when I think of an A player, how you treat people respectfully is really important.
I was going to say humble.
I was waiting for that one. Humble. Someone put that. Humble. Leonardo.
Forward thinker. Yeah,
forward thinking. Right? If something bad happens right now, then that's shook. Why? Well, it's all in the grand scheme of things. I don't know where I'm getting that. Someone seems saying shook, so I can't say it too. Don't worry, I won't call you bro, but I will stay shook.
I'd say hungry for growth.
Yeah, growth oriented. They want to grow. Moises. Confrontational confident. Yeah. Just doesn't mind confrontation. In my mind, right? Respectfully, isn't averse to conflict.
Holding yourself accountable.
Yeah, self-accountable and just accountable in general. Really accountable. You can see the difference between an A player and non-A player all the time. Accountable is, oh, there's all this traffic. I'm going to be late because of this accident. And they list off all the reasons why they're late. What's the accountable A player say? Hey, my bad. It's all me. Won't happen. I mean, there's a difference.
Initiative.
Initiative. That's kind of drive. Good.
Loyal.
Loyal. That's not up there. I love loyalty. Loyal, loyal, loyal. I'll tell that story later.
Appreciative.
Yes. I don't know how that didn't come up first in our division. In our division, what you appreciate, appreciates. What you appreciate goes up in value. If you appreciate your Cutco through college experience, it goes up in value. If you appreciate your significant other, your family, and you spend time with them and you appreciate them, that relationship goes up. We'll do a couple more. Mark. Okay, so vision. Would you say that the people at the top of United have a vision and a clear vision for the future? Yeah. What year sticks out to you? 2019. Is that an accident? Is that pretty clear in your head? How often are we speaking about 2019? All the time. It has even become a hashtag. Okay. Kate. Yeah. Ready? Seize the gift. I'll use that, right? Seize the gift in adversity. Oh, my car broke down. What's the gift in that? Oh, I didn't hit 10K. I didn't make it on stage. Well, what's the gift in that? I didn't get into TLA. There are going to be people, I'm telling you, my favorite stories are the few people that didn't get into TLA tonight that will work really hard. They'll get lead admission, and they'll be our best people. And they'll talk about how, when I didn't get in, I took for granted how easy I thought it was going to get in. And I worked harder because of it. So that's finding the gift. Eddie, go back to Eric.
A dream maker.
Dream maker. Okay. I would put that under vision as well, and help facilitate dreams. Good, Orlando.
I just want to add to the point of finding gift. It's things don't happen to us; it happens for us.
The worst thing that happened to me in my life is I got promoted out of already an awesome division in DC Metro, and I can't believe I moved all the way to South Florida and left my family. That was the worst thing that happened to me. That's how I felt after the first 2 years of moving. Because our office in the pilot was one of the best offices. We were doing better than anyone in the region. Our division was one of the fastest growing divisions in the company. Sound familiar? It's not familiar? Yeah. And then came down here, and it's triple the size. It's triple the success. It's triple the growth. In fact, the pilot, I mean, I used to always talk about back in Baltimore. Now forever, people say back in Fort Lauderdale, and you have to find the gift. You're empathetic, right? There's a difference between sympathy, which is where you try to understand, and empathy is you put yourself into their shoes. Yeah, we didn't put money. I just put a dollar sign. Anything that has to do with money. Good with their money, saves their money, invests their money well, makes their money work for them. This is all part of TLA. Any more extras? Good. Thank you. Thank you. So real quick, I'm going to give you 30 seconds, maybe a minute. We need to go through, scan this, and you have to pick 5. What are your 5? Actually, I could use your help again. Just kidding. Dalila and Karina, thanks again. Thanks, Dalila. This is payback for all the wonderful sushi we had. We had a lot of good sushi. And she almost crashed Mike's BMW. That's okay. She did. Okay, ready? So when I go, I'll switch colors. When I say go, so figure out your 5. You were to say the Florida United A player is defined by these 5. These are the most important 5. I would put professional. Weird, right? We have 30 seconds. Pick your 5. So whichever ones they say. Okay. Ready to spit out your 5? Who's ready? Raise your hand if you know your 5. No? Still thinking. If you know your 5, raise your hand. I'll call on you. Okay. Amanda. Okay, so for professional, who's got professional? 1, okay.
Growth oriented.
Uh-huh.
Humble. Attitude.
All on yours. Okay, ready? Did anyone have any of these as one of yours? Right? How many of you had attitude as one of them? Raise your hand. So mark it. 4. Okay. Who had enthusiasm? 2, 3, 4. Wait, who had enthusiasm? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Who had professional? A lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15. Just circle. Okay. Who had humble? 6, 7, 8, 8. Who had growth oriented? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Thank you. Who had a different 5 that wasn't listed? Luke. Positive. Okay, positive. Okay. Coachable. Okay. Who else? The rest are on there? Okay. Who else had positive? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3. Okay, add 2 more. Who else had coachable? 1, 2, 3, 4. She's got it. Coachable. She is. Okay. Andrew.
Put down leaders and consistent.
Leaders and consistent. Leaders and consistency. Marcel said consistent. And leader, right?
Consistency's over there.
Okay. Who said consistency?
And leaders over there too.
Raise your hand if you didn't put consistency. So put 3 more. Consistency? Oh, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you're one of them. You're so 5 more. 5 more for consistency. And then who put leader? Who put leader? So 5 more on leader. Okay. Anyone have something that's not up there?
Reliable.
Reliable. Anyone have reliable? Okay. 2 next to reliable.
Above and beyond.
Okay. Anyone put above and beyond? You can put 1 next to above and beyond.
Inspiring.
Inspiring. Anyone put inspiring? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So inspiring plus 5.
That's on the live stream.
Oh, live stream, yeah.
Live stream. Yeah, Lewis was positive.
Lewis is positive.
Shocker.
Shocker.
Professional.
I see you, Lewis. Professional. Another one for professional. Okay.
Coachable.
Coachable. Another one for coachable.
Put money.
Money. A players are money or no? Drive. Anyone put inner drive or drive related to work at self drive? So drive plus 5. Drive plus 6. Mira, Lauren. Accountable. Yes. Who put A players are accountable? Yeah, that's a big one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, plus 12. Accountable plus 12. Well, then cross yours out. Tracer. Grit. Who put grit? 1, 2, 3. Grit plus 3. Giovanni.
I put performance, vision, adaptable.
Okay, let's put perform. Who put performance? I didn't see that. Okay, performance plus 6. Who put adaptable? Adaptable plus 3. Who put performance vision? Who put vision? Vision plus 4. Anyone other ones that Eric?
Loyal.
Loyal. Who put loyal? Okay, loyal plus 2, plus 3.
Trust.
Who put trustworthy?
Don't go with honesty.
And honest. Trustworthy or honest, anything that has to do with that. Okay, trust plus 4. Okay. Eddie.
Work ethic.
Work ethic. We put that with, that's also inner drive. We put like work ethic, inner drive, anything.
Remember that with drives?
So you have plus 6 on drive.
Seize the good.
Seize the gift. I think that also has to do, seize the gift is also resilient. Seize the gift is grit. So who put down resilient, seize the gift, or grit? Raise your hand. Okay. 6,
We got
7.
we got one for organized.
1 for organized. Okay. Any other ones? Gabe.
Yeah, I put money.
Makes the most money.
Okay, put another dash for money. Good. They do. I mean, I don't know A players that are broke.
Well,
Integrity. How about who put anything integrity or honesty or trustworthy? Any of those? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. So 8 other trustworthy. Trust is over there. Just got it. Any other ones that we missed?
Appreciative.
Appreciation. Who put appreciative? Plus 2. Any other ones missing? And empathy. Okay. I would put performance. I would put 1 more under performance. Any other ones missing?
I put motivation and
And the second one?
state management.
State management. I would put that under attitude. And then the first one was work ethic.
So what for attitude?
Uh-huh. Last one.
Motivates others.
Motivates others. So motivating, motivation, inspiring. Okay. Now, thank you. Now, thank you. All right, which one's had the most?
Growth oriented, right?
So if we were to list it up, 8 players have drive. Let's define that. Define drive. Let's define drive. Go ahead, Mark. Okay, keep pushing, never give up. What's under the banner and definition of drive? Wanting to do better, desire.
Yeah, basically waking up, trying to improve yourself every day.
Okay. So what do you notice? A lot of the topics, what? They kind of go under. But would you guys raise your hand if you feel drive is an accurate term that would be a top 5? Because drive means you're inspired. Drive means you're accountable. I'm not going to ask. I'm going to tell you this is important. You can't have a lack of trust with someone that's going to be a leader. Growth oriented. That's why you want to be in TLA. So if it's just for the Cutco skills, you just go to more workshops. Am I right? Okay. Accountable and professional. Luke, can you post that on the TLA? 5 characteristics of a united trained A player. So I want you to write those 5 things down, and I want you to rate yourself 1 to 5. 5 is awesome, perfect, the best. 1 is terrible, needs so much work. 1 is in the dumps. 3 is average, and grade each one. How's your inner drive? 1 to 5. How trustworthy are you? 1 to 5. How growth-oriented are you? 1 to 5. How accountable are you? 1 to 5. And then how professional are you? 1 to 5. Karina, can you take pictures of both of these, please? And post it on the TLA. What were the 5 again, Eddie? Drive.
Drive, trust, accountable, professional, and growth oriented.
Thank you. Let's look at that for a second. How many of you ranked yourself on one of these and you go, man, I really need a lot of work on that? How do you feel pretty comfortable that one of them or several of them are strong 4, if not a 5? Was there one that was a resounding 5? Voices, what was this is my 5. Okay. Anyone else resounding 5? Believe it. Growth oriented. It's different for different people, isn't it? So I would say a lot of these fall under the banner of these 5. So to be an A player, we're looking for consistency. You see, if you're an A player throughout TLA, you're an A player when you get a spot in management. When you're an A player in management next summer, you develop other A players, and then that's where 2009 just kind of gets on like Donkey Kong kind of deal, right? See, why 2019 is so significant? We need the A players from 17 to multiply in 18. That's why 19 is so big. You guys see that? And don't get me wrong, 18 ain't gonna be too shabby. 18, I'm dating myself, 90s hip hop. We're gonna bring the ruckus. Yes, you guys get that? We're gonna bring the ruckus and 18. But 19 will be the diamond platinum standard of TLA and vector marketing. And that's because A players now will develop your offices. COC next year, where we have double the size of the hotel. Everything's been double since last year. Last year, our COC could have fit here. This year, it's 2. Next year, it'll be double this. Puerto Rico, it's the same thing. I mean, one of our TLAs a couple of years ago had 5 people. It's doubled. It's going to continue to double. 2 years ago, we had multiple places where we didn't have an office. Now we're fully staffed. Next year, we're going to fully staff Florida United, and several of you are going to run offices up and down the East Coast and represent United Trained. Virginia, Georgia, Carolina, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands. It's going to be awesome. And everyone's going to go, wow, you're doing really well. And you just go, I'm United Trained. That's all you say. I'm United Trained. And go, oh, you're really smart, Harvard. Oh, okay. Right? You just say the school, and they go, oh, okay, I get it. Dalila, you're killing it. United Trained. I'm from United. Oh, I see. Makes sense. Okay. Here's one thing I also know about people that are A players. They protect, they know, they pay attention to red dots. No, circles of influence. So do me a favor. Write 3 circles on the paper. You can write down circle of influence at the top. Fill in these words. And underneath each circle, write down 3 lines, and only 3. Under these circles, write down 3 lines. I love looking on the TLA post, and someone will sell, and someone who's not even the person that sold will say, that's my, and they'll put 3 red dots, or that's my COI. What's really interesting is how many people in that COI are maybe more than 3. And would they put you in their COI? That's my COI. And they might go, oh, really? Oh, wow. I don't know. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds, and you only get 30 seconds when I say go to fill in 3 from the people you learn with, 3 from, learn, and 3 for teach 4. Ready? List those 3 people. Go. 30 seconds. Now 25 seconds. Now 15 seconds. 10. 4, 3, 2. Pencils down. Ready? Raise your hand if some of them were hard to fill. Be honest. Okay. What does that say then? What is that circle was hard to fill, Kempo? It means it's someone I need to fill. I'm not talking to enough people. I haven't sought out a mentor. I'm to myself. Ready? I haven't sought out a mentor, or better mentors, or more mentors, or they don't know I want them as my mentor. You can look up to someone, but if they're not teaching you intentionally, that's not really a mentor. What if it was hard to fill the learn with? You might be too isolated, or not reaching out, or too arrogant. Sometimes we can get arrogant and, oh, I don't need to talk to anyone. Teach 4, that's usually the hardest one when you're newer. Who's underneath that you are directly mentoring, or your mentees? Did anyone have a circle that was really hard to keep to 3? Where you go, man, it's 5, it's 10, I keep thinking of all these names. What does that say, if a circle? Marcel, what does it say if one of your circles was hard to keep to 3?
From, in this company, I feel like you learn just so much from so many people.
Yeah.
Like in SC2, there's so many people giving so many speeches.
Right, exactly. You don't know who to learn from.
So many people at the same time.
Yeah. Here's a tool for this one. I would like you to be my mentor. That's the quote. Hey, Mike, I'd love for you to be my mentor. Now, if you're from someone's office, indirectly, they're already your mentor, so to speak. Okay. Learn with. What if it's too many people in your learn with? What does that mean? You might not be selective enough, or we might not be selective enough. Maybe getting influenced by too many people or the wrong people. And it doesn't mean you can't have a big influence. It's different. It's who you're being influenced by. See the difference? I'll use Mike. Mike just showed up on his flight. How's your flight? Nice.
Good, some fun was great.
Peanuts?
Yeah. Free bags.
Ooh. VIP. So I would say Mike has unlimited lines when it comes to who he influences. but I'm very aware that he's very strict on who he gets influenced by. You guys see that? I think Aaron Luden said it best. It's okay to be around those people, just be aware of who you pay attention to and who you listen to. Okay, and Mike spoke about this actually yesterday, 2 days ago. And then teach for. What if there are too many people in the teach for? What does that probably tell you? You might be spreading yourself too thin. It's like, yeah, that's my mentee. Yeah, I look out for them. I look out for them. You look out for yourself. You might be too busy helping other people that you forget to look in the mirror. Or what do they say? You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't pour out and pour in from an empty cup. How many of you feel like that sometimes, where you're just giving to other people and supporting and mentoring, and you forget you need some you time? So between now and the next time we meet, whether it's TLA, if you're not accepted, then ready? Let's make this assumption. Let's assume you guys are working really hard and you're at this meeting. You've done what you needed to do to get into TLA. Okay. It is, and I want to say this up front. It's also, I probably shouldn't say this, but when we announce your name tonight, there really shouldn't be any Dalila. Whoa. Well, all right. There shouldn't be that. It should be a round 2, Eddie de las Cuevas. Like, of course. Okay. That's how A players get accepted tonight to TLA. So I'm saying this, and I'm not saying this because I can't say it directly, but I'm kind of saying it. Wink, wink. I'm looking at you. I'm saying it, but I'm not really saying it. You're probably going to get in tonight. Right? So I think take that pressure off right now. That's not the issue. If you're in this room, 95% chance you'll get in. The other 5% is because it's only 12 o'clock and we have till 9 and people have done stupid things in 9 hours. And that's not a joke. That's the truth. There have been people who were at this 8-player meeting and within 9 hours got taken off very quickly by what they said, how they acted, arrogant, something. I don't think it'll be this year. I hope it's not this year, but let's assume that. Okay? Someone was raising their hand. Oh, there you go.
I just wanted to expand just one thought on the learn from, learn with, teach for is intentionality. Like, do you want it strictly business, or it could be I want to learn from someone who has my physique or the physique I want,
right.
Or do I want to learn someone? Is it strictly Cutco, or is it physical? Is it relationships? Is it which part of the wheel? Maybe you want to speak to that.
Yeah, and one thing I'm doing for all the assistants in the room right now, branches and districts, this is their exercise. Their exercise was due for everyone but the districts. I want them to show, they're going to send me this for their personal life. They're going to send me this for their Cutco life. And then they're going to send me their third one, which is just overall. Some might mix, some might not. And then you could also have a fitness and energy and health circle of influence. You could have a money circle of influence. You could probably have, according to the Wheel of Life, 6 to 8 different wheels. But for now, you could just start with an overall one, but maybe you make one that's just for Cutco and one that's just for your personal life, and then your spiritual / faith, and then combine them. How about some light bulbs? What does this exercise take you through? What are some light bulbs for you? What are some discoveries? What are some, oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. What is this?
I could teach for what would take their class orders. I think I help them the most. But probably not helping everybody else.
Okay, so there are other people you could influence that or maybe aren't at a high level. Okay. Other discoveries, light bulbs, shocking. Mark.
The different types of what, like you said, the different types of circles.
Right. There's so many. And what's great is you take the fitness one, the money one, the life one, the faith one, your business one, and which of those people make it to your overall. That's a really important person. Marcel.
I realize now writing this down, like the people that I learn with, the people that I associate myself with the most, being Eric, Moses, Carlos.
Right.
But I realized that maybe I could probably learn with more people from our office, relate, like associate myself more with other people as well.
Yeah, and maybe in some cases, depending where you're at, Marcel, they end up being part of this circle too. Good. I don't mind. Yeah, there's no reason that you can't learn from someone who's younger or your age. In fact, there will be a lot of people learning from you who are younger than you next year. Welcome to Cutco. Tracer. Yeah, it comes full circle. Yeah, I agree. Sometimes the student becomes the teacher, and the teacher becomes the student. A little Yoda, Star Wars for you there. Yeah. Did anyone go through this exercise to Leonardo's point? And you go, like you wrote it down. You went, I know that writing this down is accurate, and I know it's not good for me to be writing this person down. Raise your hand if you had some of those. You don't have to share who. Yeah. Andrew?
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's so important. You know, you said before, but like you are the average, like the 5 people you spend the most time with too. So just think about like the people that you spend the most time with, and think about like their income, what they're making, their fitness levels, their professionalism, like their goal orientation. Like I mean, all those things too.
Yeah.
Like I know like the times when I've been at most fit is because I've been hanging out with other guys that are a lot bigger, you know, or a lot more fit than I am. You know, when I'm making the most money during the summertime because I'm hanging around with other people that are making money versus when I'm in school. It's just how it works.
You ever seen? I'm not on social media much, other than just to stalk you guys. But that's neither here nor there.
Everything's an interview.
Everything's an interview, and some of your profiles, man, not so much in this room, but some. People forget I'm on WhatsApp groups all the time, which I like. And B, people forget what profile picture they put on their WhatsApp sometimes. And you know, one day when you're not with Cutco and you're applying for the job, especially this generation, they look at that stuff all the time. And they don't know you like we do, so you know what they do? Right? They don't know you like we do, so you know what they do? Prejudge you. So be wary of the face that you put. Okay. You ever notice on social media when you have friends like, oh, me and my girls, or the guys they all look the same? No joke, right? You ever notice whether they dress, appearance, fitness level, right? I mean, I think there's something to be said about the circles of influence. That's why sometimes you see a bunch of people who are a group of friends that are not as fit. They probably all have the same eating habits, or go out and rage at night, and then, oh, well, I'm hungry, and then you go do whatever you do at night. All the time, and they're not as fit. So just food for thought. Any other general takeaways? How about this? Just go ahead, Joanne. Yeah, that's right. I think he was saying that over there where it coincides. Bless you. So before we go into this last exercise, and the last 2 parts, I'm going to take you through kind of a self-reflection exercise, and then I want to show you how you can help us run the best COC in the history of Florida United and have an amazing event today. Is that cool? All right? Yeah. So what are you guys taking away from our exercise? We did circles of influence. We defined what an A player is, and really just being here today at the key staff of Florida United. What are you guys taking from this? What are some light bulbs, things that are standing out? What's becoming more exciting? What's becoming clearer? What are you aware of that you weren't aware of before? Alex?
I think I wasn't really I didn't understand the immensity of what a new career is. I didn't understand what we do.
Yeah, you're a third of the room. Just look at the room. You guys are the top 1/3, at least for now. The goal is to stay here, right? This is identified as the top third of our TLA interviews. So, Moises.
Without so many things on the board, there's always room for improvement. Yeah. And it just stresses the fact that you're more than most perfect. Even though you might be running perfectly,
no one's perfect. If you're from my office, you can screw up. Just don't make the same mistakes twice. It means you're not growing. Andrew.
I think too, it's just important to note, like just because you're here now, like it's not like what's important is that you're here at the next state player meeting, and that like there's no the reason that you're in there is again it's all about being in the circle of influence. And right now you're in the circle of influence, being the top percentage of the people that are going to get into TLA today. And there's a lot more people. There's only so many territory options. There's only so many people that will be here next summer, and it's going to be a small percentage. And right now you guys are the front runners to be that, but you know you have to stay consistent for that. There's people that got maybe Jeff's first video about being a player, and then they didn't get a second one, right? There's people that are at this meeting now, and that probably won't be here a month from now in the next A player meeting that we have after the first TLA prep. So I just encourage you all, if you're here, you're here because your results this summer and your work ethic has got you here, and you're someone that's been leading the pack, but continue to lead the pack, because if you're leading the pack throughout the fall and the spring, you're going to be leading the pack next summer, But it's really, really hard once you get into, school and you start changing your environments and, you're experiencing different things. It's easy to kind of lose track and lose focus. So I just encourage you guys to stay focused, stay hungry, and make sure that you're constantly on top of those things and you're exhibiting these traits. And you keeping your drive up, staying accountable, keeping growth oriented too, because you guys will be the people that will be here next summer leading 2018. And then
agree. And stay focused, but stay with these circles. I've seen A players when they get to school, they don't participate in the WhatsApp, and not talking to people. It's very easy to fall out. Very easy to fall out.
Super easy.
Yeah, super easy. School's crazy.
For the branches in the room, school will be easier as you know. School's a piece of cake compared to before running a branch. Other takeaways? And can we continue to document greatness? Well, yes.
It'll slow down just because we got into PLA or because we got into A players and we have to keep the same level of consistency throughout.
Right. So I'm just going to use an example that is prevalent too now, and for the athletes in the room or sports lovers, I'm hoping.
Raise your hand if you like sports. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Ready? So it's NFL season time. And there are a lot of people that got drafted in the NFL draft, not the TLA draft. Okay? And so when they get drafted, do you see them go, I got drafted. That's just what I want. That's it. No. We did it, Mom. We're in. Well, now what? No, that's it. I just wanted to get drafted. No, you get drafted. Those people that get drafted, A players get drafted. A players get $1 million contracts. When you get drafted and you're an A player, what's the attitude? I got in. That's what I was fighting for, so I can fill in the blank. Dominate, win, perform, lead, grow. That's an A player. Speaking of an A player, in the back is Beth Shishmanian, my favorite A player. Woo! Beth! I'll introduce Beth later. Beth has been with me longer than anyone in all of Florida United's. She's been with me since 2002. And she now runs the center in Michigan that when everyone applies across the country, they get texted and they get set up for interviews. That's from Beth. So ahead of time, you can thank her later for your success next year. Can you help distribute, please? Would you mind helping distribute, please? So,
A little self-reflection. I want to take the time to go through this exercise.
and while before we start the exercise, I want to talk to you about how we can run a great meeting and set the tone for today. So one of the things you'll learn about management when you're in TLA is how to run a great event. Okay. So for all the people that are first years, and this is my favorite because now we're starting to say first years because it's TLA time. You know it's TLA time when you say first years. So for all the first years, what are some elements of all these different Cutco meetings you've been to? A team meeting on Wednesday, all-day phone jam on Sunday, SC1, division meeting, SC2. What are some elements of great meetings that you've noticed? Just some characteristics. We'll go, Eric, with one energy. So there's lots of energy. Let's talk about that. What are some things that go into lots of energy? What creates energy?
Motion.
Motion.
Emotion.
Motion and emotion. So they say motion creates emotion. So when you walk into SC2, are the managers like this? Hey, welcome. Hey, good to see you. Hey. Over there. We met you, Miami? In the front, over there. Okay. Have a meeting. No, they're moving. Who's moving on the stage? Me. Right? Losing my voice with the microphone. Let's stay with the energy.
Tone of voice.
Tone of voice. So there's high projection. Not, hey, welcome to SC2. Welcome, everyone. There's a lot of enthusiasm. What else creates energy and tempo?
Body language.
Body language and people running around and chest out. What else creates emotion? Music. That's perfect time. Thanks, Pharrell. Mark. Okay, there's lots of positive attitude. Okay, what else? Aside from energy, what else?
Taking notes.
Yeah, so if you're taking notes, but how do you get other people to take notes? Think about your team meetings. Think about what happens before the team meetings. But Alex. Okay, so lead by example. And what we're going to strategically do is spread you out across the room. Okay. And you'll sit with your officers, and that's not a big deal. But then at some point, we'll switch it up, and Mike will say, all right, switch. And you're going to sit somewhere else in the room, and you're not going to sit with your team. There's going to be no team. There's going to be one team, the United team. Right? And then you start meeting new people. Ready? So when the A players take notes, everyone else takes notes. How about this? What are some other ways to run a great, effective meeting? Dalila.
Feedback from the crowd.
Yeah, so when I say, everyone, and what are some takeaways? Any light bulbs? There's 2 versions of that. Ready? Version 1. Right? I don't know what that was impersonating, but I thought that was really fun. And then the best version, the A-player version of the meeting is, any feedback, and hands go up and A players participate. And even if you know what you're saying, we already know. I'll explain that in a second. Even if you know that what you're saying we know, it helps to facilitate. So for example, Mike just did this about 20 minutes ago. See, I just want to expand one of the thoughts that Jeff had. And he talked about having different circles. I already know that. He already knows that. He teaches it. What was he trying to do? Get everyone involved. Okay, do you see? A little psh, 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 psh. We'll be at the mixer later. That's great. We'll be at the mixer later. Public speaking tonight. I say no inside jokes. I just did it. I'm so sorry. Okay. What else? What else can we do to run a great event? How about now next
Breaks.
level group? Go ahead.
Sorry. Facilitate breaks.
Yeah, what does that mean, facilitate breaks? Next level group. So if you're a branch or an assistant, next level means you've been in TLA before. How do you facilitate breaks?
Conversation. Energy management.
Energy management, so having lots of conversations, no one stands by themselves, music.
Introducing yourself to representatives and also asking for their feedback.
Yeah, hey, what did you think of that message during the break? Good. Making sure people are eating when the food comes out. Okay. What else can we do to run a great event? Districts, specifically. Districts, PSM, Andrew. Oh, Andrew's a district, wow. Crazy.
I forgot to.
Ask questions.
Ask questions, right? Questions start conversation. That's from the Cutco appointment. Mark.
Treat everyone like they're
Right. Luke's dad always says, treat every human with dignity. Right? That's not an issue here, but maybe you're not here, and how you treat people, that's important. Karina.
This is for the event and post-event. Just know you're always in interview, not just by just managers, but anyone that's not here, they're watching you too. So you guys are essentially the leaders of the event. So how are you carrying yourself?
Yeah, what decisions are you making when the managers aren't around and people will follow you? It's really interesting. I've watched Luke and Andrew do it for multiple TLAs, where the crowd wants to do this, and Luke and Andrew say, "Well, no, we're going to do this because this is what's expected of us." And the 2 cool big brothers now lead the flock, and then the whole team does the same thing for years. Orlando.
I think that's the point. Just act as if you want to do, let's just say, fill blank range next summer. How we bring it back.
Right, you'll hear me say all the time at conferences, I don't care what everyone else is doing. You're not everyone else. You're from the U. That's different. My dad used to say that about us. Like, take out the U, add in Gamboa. I don't care what they're doing. You're not those kids. You're Gamboa. Yeah, but Dad, everyone else, I don't care. Anyone sound familiar with your parents? I run this just like my dad ran the Gamboa household. No different, except I don't have as much of an accent. That's it. That was a joke. Laugh now. Laugh now. Perfect. A players laugh at Jeff's jokes. Amazing. Well, for all my Cubans, amazing. All right, let's go here. I'm going to go through the questions. I'm going to give you a couple minutes to fill them out, and we'll share at the end. What do you appreciate about your Vector/Florida United experience thus far? And let me go through the questions first before we start. What does being an A player mean to you? We defined it with 5 characteristics, but what does A player to you mean? Would you rate yourself as an A player right now? Yes or no? Why or why not? Would others rate you as an A player right now? Why or why not? On the back, what are 2 to 3 action steps you can take to lead as or grow into an A player? So if you don't feel like you're an A player right now, you're here because we feel like you have what it takes to become and grow into one. So what would that take? Or if you feel like you're an A player right now, what are 2 to 3 action steps you can take this week, this month, this semester, this year to maintain that A player level, let's say, status or performance? And then my favorite question, if you already knew that vector marketing and the U was truly the M3PG experience for you, meaning you really knew that you were going to do cut through college, which most of you are here, how would you treat the opportunity differently? How would you think differently? How would you act differently? So I'll give you a few moments to fill that out. You shut your mouth when you're talking to me. Everyone, so let's do this. Before we send you out, we're going to end a little bit early. I would love overall feedback and takeaways from, as you go through this specific, I guess, self-evaluation. Any discoveries, anything that, any questions that came to mind where you went, and think about that. Any reminders for you? Any wake-up calls for you? Anything that's inspiring or exciting to you? John?
How important vision is, because I've been here for 24 years and see how vision has led to the vision team at the top of the company. It's not only important to see it in the division, but it's most important to see something.
Right. Vision. I was going to do another Bible quote. Sorry. So you need to have vision. It's really important because if you don't see yourself here through college, then part of why Cutco through college is genius is because it keeps you here. You guys understand that, right? But you get value from it too. It goes both ways. We get value in having you for 2 to 3 to 4 years before we then after that have a chance to possibly work with you as your first career out of college. Some of you, it's a career period. For Mike and I, it's become a career. For some people, it's been the first stint of a career after college. Like Orlando just starting his post-collegiate career with us as a district manager. So vision is really important. Go ahead.
One of the things that you and I talked about once was that the farther you plan out, that correlates to your success in not only relationships but also your wealth and your time.
Yeah, you're giving them some TLA sneak peeks. The farther out you plan, the more money you make. The farther out you see yourself and plan your relationship, the stronger the relationship. The farther you plan out your fitness, everything follows. I don't know wealthy people who go, yeah, I don't know what's going on next month or next year too. Like I can ask Mike what he's doing next year. He has his calendar wired. There's some truth to that. Cool. So vision was good.
Maybe we should have to give a time management talk.
You should give a time management talk. Do you guys want a time management talk from Mike Abramowitz? You got one.
Oh.
Let's teach you how to grab your time. Grab time. Marcel.
Yeah, something really out of this was like, what are we planning to do for the next week, month, semester, and year? That's something that really affected me now that I started thinking about it. Moving out to college on Sunday, and I hadn't really thought about like what to do. Like, what would my next steps be?
Right. So
I just started thinking about them, and I have like something a little bit planned out.
Right, and all of you that are going away for school, how many of you? There's about a third of you. Okay. So when you guys go to school, listen to this. It's really important that you anticipate, because if you want to be a smart business person, you will all be smart business people when we're done with you. Smart business people anticipate. So I mean, you know that when you go to college, you move in. There's a list of things in college, but then there are things you can do to be proactive and stay on pace with Cutco. Other takeaways, Kate?
Just because we're here now doesn't mean we'll be here the next time, and then treat every day like a
Yeah, and it doesn't mean every day you're doing 10 appointments, it feels like. Every day there's some push. Every day, whether you're pushing your time management, pushing your fitness, pushing your communication, pushing your faith, pushing your journaling. Good. Eric.
The 2 questions at the bottom of the first page. Would you rate yourself as an A player, and then would others? Then you and others are both in big, bold letters. Because whether you believe in yourself, that's just straight confidence. But others, did you go out and back it up?
It's fun. It's funny if you don't see the second question. Would you say you're an A player? Oh yeah. Would others? Maybe. I don't know. And when you can say yes confidently to both, then that's probably how and when you're acting as an A player. Any vets, real quick? Final thoughts before we wrap up. How about from the vets? I'd like your thoughts on just being an A player, the importance of it. I know, Luke, we spoke about in the beginning, and more importantly, how, I don't know, I'm just pretty excited. I could talk for 2 hours how excited I am, but I'll do that later. I'll talk for an hour later. Mike.
So I got 2 points. The first one was when I did the best version, or not the best version, the Circle of Influence. I posed myself a question: who lives the lifestyle that I can look up to? So that way I can really challenge myself for that third person for me. So who lives the lifestyle, and then financially, physically, that way I can expand to that. So just answering that question was really helpful for me. And the person that I circled, and I'm like, all right, I have my target. Doesn't probably even, I had maybe 2 conversations with the guy, but now I'm going to be intentional and like reaching out to this gentleman and adding them to my circle and just telling them straight up, like, listen, what can I do to serve you and your cause? And in return, I really just want to be friends with you. And that's what I'm gonna.
Yeah. I just want to be around you, hang out with you, and be influenced.
Yeah. And as far as this room goes, I'll tell you, I've been in business a long time, and man, when I walked in, I was like, "This is a good-looking group. This is a good-looking group." And we talk about the 2019 vision. I know in my organization, but for the U, there's only been one division that I know of that's done $10 million in sales, and that was the previous NORPAC division way back. Jeff knows this, but probably before anyone was in the business. And that division was the division of vector marketing. $10 million. That was just led by Isaac Tolpin and Peter Vogt, and they were just like the real deal. The difference between that division and what we have is their division was built on almost like isolating themselves from vector and being a division of vector marketing, where what we're trying to do is we're trying to be the poster child of what we want to move the entire company towards, and say, this is what it means to be a leader. This is the epitome of youth leadership and entrepreneurism starts in the U, and we're going to spread that to the entire company. And we're not trying to isolate and keep ourselves a secret. We're saying we're going to be the poster child. So 2019, everyone knows where we are. They all want to follow us, and I think we're going to be the backbone of what the company is all about, even more so, and helping us get to that $500 million a year.
Yeah, I got a text from Scott Dennis. I sent him a picture. He goes, wow, all eyes on what is arguably, parentheses, not arguably, but I can't say it because I'm a region manager, the most exciting and best team in vector marketing. That's Scott. Because Scott has to be politically correct. He can't have a favorite. Although he has a favorite! If it's true, it's true.
Yeah, to that point too, I've been getting like a flurry of Facebook messages over the past couple weeks, just talking about what we're doing down here is such a big deal, like from other DVMs and stuff like that across the company. Like Evan Keller just messaged me, like, I don't know, a couple of days ago, and he's like, what you guys are doing down there is amazing. Like, keep it up, the company needs it.
Yeah,
so.
You see that? Keep it up, the company needs it. So you have a great responsibility, and with great responsibility, or great power comes great responsibility, rather, like Spider-Man. You guys have a power. The power is that you're the highest performing, most looked at division of vector marketing, whether you know it or not. And the responsibility you have is to teach the company to be like you. Like you. No pun intended. Final thoughts, other vets, real quick? Okay. So here's the agenda. I want to end with something fun here. We're going to break for lunch, and what you guys can do is when you come back, get lunch on your own. I'm going to meet you guys outside the room. Seating is at 3 o'clock sharp. So can we make an agreement that everyone will be here by 2:45? Does that work? Yes. But hey, you got 2 hours. So eat Las Espadas, yes. Across the street's the best sandwich place in all of Broward County. Las Espadas. When you come back, I'm going to ask that you guys mix and mingle with the rest of the team's 8-player style. Okay, so meet people, be energetic, no cliques, create unity, create united feel. And then right at 3 o'clock, Luke's going to open the doors. We'll have the music, and we'll start the meeting SC2 style with some tempo. So let's get some energy. Let's clap, and let's have the most exciting, most dynamic COC in the history of vector marketing today. Tonight, we have the 2017-18 TLA draft you've been waiting for. It's exciting. Let's bring energy. Let's celebrate at the highest level with everyone tonight. And super proud of our 8-player team. Now, keep in mind, I will start an 8-player WhatsApp group as well. But you'll see a lot of so-and-so has been removed and so-and-so has been added. You'll see that all the time, okay? So there'll be our TLA group, then there'll be our 8-player group. Also, ready? That you know things are good with you in the United. When I no longer want you to text me on normal text, you can now all text me on WhatsApp. Directly. So seriously, please do WhatsApp. So who's ever texted me on WhatsApp directly and I say, sorry, that's for TLA, can you text me on my phone? So now that you're going to be in TLA, assuming you don't mess up in the next 9 hours. So support each other, have fun, We'll see you guys back here in just a bit. But before you do, I got to show you something. This is a highlight from the summer.
Oh yeah.
And so very last day. But you sold 15K. But you just got some racks. None of them were answering. It's your word called me back. Big connotation. Does that come over right now? It takes you an hour to get to her house. But she lives on Fisher Island. You knock when no one's there. There's a barbecue on the back porch. She said she doesn't want to see the presentation. Because she already needs time. But she has to talk to her husband first. So she goes and gets him. She says there's no way to get the homemaker sex. This is not control. He says she's not interested in getting anything else. Other than the kitchen. But he actually comes back in 3 weeks. Oh, what else he wants to get for his friends? So you leave the house in tears. Because you finally hit your goal. Nothing else you can do. And do we break the record for us?
So on that note,
Almost 10,000 views.
so that gets. I think that video encapsulates the enthusiasm and unity that we have here at the U, and that's an example from our mighty Metro Miami branch team. So guys, have a great lunch. We'll see ya. 2:45. Manager meeting at 1:45.